I make a wish this day, and I'll send
Getting
it
it.
to
There
the
are.
heavens.
And we're back for part 2 of the Super Hentai Senpai Sentai Show, Season 2, Episode 2. What is that? Baby, don't hurt me no more.
Baby, don't hurt me.
Because love sucks.
No.
I mean,
Yes.
what?
And
Water.
last segment we
Water
talked
is great.
about our personal OTPs, and with this segment we're going to talk about our favorite romantic scenes. Again, any medium, so comics, games, movies, film, anime, literature, whatever floats your boat. And to start, T.
Well, there was a scene in The Blue Girl. No, if only there was such a hentai that was actually romantic. I don't know.
There are.
There are. I've watched one.
The
are.
the ones written for women and by women tend to be in that direction.
Drink more coffee.
So you'll remember and give me
Fair,
link.
That's true though.
That's why most yaois are well written.
Because women understand romance.
Mm.
With dicks.
Romance
Just
is romance, bro.
All right, but seriously, about the Blue Girl. No. Okay, so like last season, the last anime season featured this sleeper hit actually. It's called. Let me see if I could pronounce it properly.
Not Rakudai Kishi no Cavalry.
It is, Rakudai Kishi no Cavalry. which translates to Chivalry of a Failed Knight. Okay.
Oh.
So
tragic shit. Sounds like tragic shit.
well, at first glance, it looks like your typical magical high school title. But the premise actually is from the get-go, you already get a setup for a perfectly good love story between the two main characters, Iki Kurogane and Stella Vermilion. In their setting basically is you have a new generation of humans called Blazers, who have two main abilities. One is to use magic, usually an elemental form, which is appropriate to their character, and to materialize weapons based on their characters also. Kind of like a Bleach thing where your Zanpakuto takes on a form which reflects who you are.
Is that like a Patronus?
Hmm?
Is that like a Patronus?
Nah, not sure. But so anyway, so two main abilities: magic and a melee weapon. So the thing about this show is Iki Kurogane is, as the title implies, he's one of the worst blazers in the world. They knew that from his childhood, and because of that particular truth, he was shunned because Kurogane's family in that show was a clan of world-renowned blazers. So to have that black sheep in that family meant that he was basically disowned. His existence was not acknowledged during family gatherings, and maybe the biggest baggage he was carrying throughout the show is that he never got the approval of his father, to whom he looks up to. So throughout his life, he's had to deal with this uphill battle of being labeled the worst one, quote unquote, and yet he has to prove his worth as a blazer. So blazers in that show are trained in schools, and after a lot of hard work and fights, Iki Kurogane finally gets admission to one of those schools. But plot twist, since his family's influential, they basically force the school to rig all of the exercises so that Iki Kurogane cannot progress at all as a student. But here's the thing: the headmaster and his teachers sympathize with Iki, So whenever they get an opportunity to help him, whether it be to improve his abilities as a blazer or as a character, as like to cheer him up, they do so. And one of those decisions was basically to pair him up with, as a roommate on a roomie basis, Stella Vermilion, a princess and a blazer from another country, hence not a Japanese name. And in contrast to Iki Kurogane, she's one of the most powerful blazers in the world. Fire magic is unequaled, and she also has very good swordplay. Swordplay.
She's very good with the sword, okay?
Okay.
As long as she doesn't have a sword.
That wouldn't matter to you, Neil, right?
Yes, it wouldn't matter to you, Neil. So at first, Stella was insulted that she got paired up with the likes of Iki because what the fuck, worst blazer in the world, and I'm one of the best. But I suppose in a way to shut her up, Iki Kurogane challenged her to a mock battle, and to everyone's surprise, Iki Kurogane single-handedly defeated her. Like, what happened there? Like, the worst blazer beat one of the world's top blazers. So from there started this long. It started with a friendship, and then Stella, being your typical tsundere, apparently has slowly developing feelings for her, for Iki, for him, and basically she starts to sympathize with Iki because in terms of Stella's own point of view, because everyone considered her to be just plain old talented, and so they just assume that her success is due to her talents, but when in fact she hates that because she feels that she's really put on a lot of work to attain her standing as a blazer. So it's not just all talent. She's confidently beautiful with a heart.
Mic drop.
So in the last season, anime season, there's like 12 episodes. You have this budding romance between Iki Kurogane and Stella Vermilion, and at the night where he finally confesses his feelings for her, they make a pact, like, we are going to the finals of their current tournament, the 7-Star Battle Festival, and we will fight each other again. We will have a rematch. We will fight in earnest, and then I guess regardless of what happens, we're gonna fall in love and fuck. I don't know. So, but it doesn't reach that part of the story. Last season ended with Iki Kurogane having to fight one of the best blazers that isn't Stella Vermilion. Basically, a girl with a lightning fast EI Jutsu skill, and this was after he was tortured and abused by his own father because him being in a relationship with the princess from another country was extremely scandalous. And throughout the season, there's this recurring imagery of Iki Kurogane walking through a blizzard, as if to reflect how cold reality was to him, unaccepted, ignored, disowned. So at the last episode, when he finally proposes to Stella Vermilion and he falls into her boobs,
Because anime.
There's this huge imagery of warmth and flowers and sunlight, and basically that's where Iki says, "Oh, this is the warmth that saved my life." And I guess it's not a coincidence that Stella Vermilion is one of the best fire users in the show. So basically,
Sorry.
Oh my god.
allergic. Emil is allergic to love.
Ironic.
Ironic, isn't it?
Yeah. So they propose, and you have to watch that last episode, that scene where Iki finally proposes and she says yes, and it's like, oh my god. And it tugs at the heartstrings right there. So Everyone didn't have high hopes for that show. They just brushed it off as another magical high school show. But it was surprisingly good. Even Ken said it was surprisingly good.
Even Ken said.
Even Ken.
Yeah, if it has the Ken Po seal of approval, it's good.
Oh, kiniligpit niya wherever he is.
Like, oh, see, was just thinking of me.
My anal sense is tingling.
Tinigasan.
No,
Random. Huh?
his sphincter went tense.
Oh my god.
We love you, Ken.
Love you, Ken.
Which is funny because during that same season there was another magical high school show running called Asterisk War.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, and everyone was rooting for that, but the way when I watched both, and it's like Asterisk War was mediocre at best, and well, if you're into lolly, there's a lot of lolly characters there, but I would say that in terms of plot, it would have to be Rakudai Kishi no Cavalry. So off the top of my head, most recent favorite romantic moment was when Ikki proposed to Stella Vermilion in that show. That's it for me.
I actually saw one. I saw this YouTube video. The title of which is "The Asterisk War is Shit."
Yeah. Part one. Right there.
Yeah.
He, the same
Is it
guy who
Digibro?
really hates
Is it Digibro?
Digibro. He hates that one. He also hates Sao. But that Sao deserves the hate naman yata, I think. But I don't know about Asterisk War, so.
Yeah, well, it was mediocre at best, really. It had it had the potential to be as good as Rakudai Kishi no Cavalry, but then it's like what? So
Went off the rails.
yep, went off the rails right there. Wasted.
Too much hype.
Yeah. The lightsaber sound effects didn't help it at all.
Really?
Yeah, their weapons there were hard light based, so boom 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 boom.
Womp womp. Womp womp. So.
Okay. Tease the next is Emil with so many favorite romantic scenes, and
Because I'm a sucker.
despite
for
the fact that
romance.
he's allergic to love.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So Emil, tell us some more about your favorite romantic scenes in any medium.
Once again, I had to cut it down a lot. So at the very least, I put it to at least one per medium. One
You're
per
such a
medium.
maximalist.
Yeah, it's easier to cut off than to.
Oh! Say
That's-
what?
It's easier to shave down a list than to add to it. So first would be from the webcomic Questionable Content regarding the pairing of Martin and Claire. So they're Canadian.
is that okay?
French Canadian.
Okay.
But they're in Canada, right?
They are in Canada.
They are in Canada. So Martin has been around, dated a bit. He's not the dating type. He's kind of nerdy, so it's a wonder that he got dates anyway. And then he got matched with an equally nerdy girl. She's a librarian.
Woohoo!
She's a ginger with freckles and big
Does she have
glasses.
Woohoo!
And so she's like, she's
Does
the
she have big tits?
no.
No, she has boobs. That's okay.
And then so they were getting they were hanging around and they were getting closer to each other, and then Martin was giving signs
Like this.
essentially like that. Was it what
He is making obscene paw
Paw
gestures. Or if you're not sure what an obscene
video.
paw gesture is, you
for the
make,
YouTube video?
What?
you make a
Deadpool.
cylinder with one hand, and then you use the index finger of your other hand, and you make them kiss repeatedly,
Over and over again.
over and over again, until one of them is satisfied.
One of them.
One of them, not both of them dapat.
Oh nga, equality.
Equality.
Okay, until both of them are satisfied.
But I think you gotta start off with not just this. In fact, you shouldn't start off with this.
Oh yeah.
You should do like
Yeah.
other
Other
things
things.
with your fingers
Yeah.
before making the cylinder.
Right.
Right.
But anyway, regarding the fingers and the cylinders,
Apparently we're a sex therapy
before
Canada.
Claire told Martin that before they move on with their relationship, there's something that he should know. This.
Obscene paw gestures.
Unfortunately,
What?
it's not going to be this. It'll be like.
Oh shit!
Okay, Emil just made the penises kiss. Wait, using his finger. Not using actual penises.
Because
FYI.
Claire was a transsexual. She was mid. Actually, no. Actually, this is incorrect. It has never been indicated whether or not she had a complete change. Not really. So Martin said, okay, he felt like he could get over it. He might be able to get over it. So they went into the before they were gonna have their first intimate moment. There was this very adorable like Godiva scene. So she's there, then she has her hair down, covering the top, and then objects cover the bottom, and then she says, "This is me. If this is okay with you." And then then he says yes.
Aww. Your fascination for traps now makes sense.
Oh my god, what happened to Faye?
They never get together, Faye and Anna.
Oh my god,
Because-
But they have sex.
No, not with Faye. Dora.
Yeah.
Which is
No,
kind of
I mean,
awkward.
Weren't they when like they were just like?
They never became FBs.
Oh.
Because well, that's complicated.
I haven't read QC in a very long time.
Yeah.
The last
Still
time
good.
I remember,
Shit's still good.
there was
Shit's still good. It's really good.
I know. The last time
Last
there was still
arc
an MMR in Ateneo,
Wow.
which is now Faber Hall.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
That
long
was-
time.
I was open. I was checking it. I was checking the site to see the update, and then there was someone behind me who approached me, and he's like, "Oh, porno, huh?" It's a really nice webcomic.
It's a really really nice. It really for me it really captures
Canada.
It's friends with
It's-
robots, guys.
No, really, because the sense of there's lots of equality, like gender, sexual equality. It's funny.
It's funny. Although it goes for some of the tropes, yeah, but it captures a lot of the relationship things. So the difficulties and the highs and the lows. Because a lot of things are just the highs. People break up, people get together, people have fights, friends. We're not friends anymore, or like alcoholism, and then it's all punctuated by a very potty mouthed robot.
So Tony Stark in Civil War minus superpowers.
But cute
But cute
and small
and small
He's
and with
actually more
lesbians.
He's more like Ted.
He's more like Ted
as a robot.
as a robot.
Okay.
Robo Ted.
Robo Ted. But no, it's cute. It's cute. And then I really love that particular moment as a romantic thing. It's like, this is me. And then it's like they said yes, and that's Of course, it's not. It's still not. It's not implied whether or not she had to change or not. We don't know. Does it matter? The author says it doesn't. So it's up to speculation. He's not going to answer, or is it a she? I don't remember. It's a he, I think. He's not going to answer whether or not she's... And it shouldn't really matter, actually, in an equal world. Anyway, moving on to anime. It's a romantic arc, I suppose. Amagami SS, which is based on a PSP video game, a dating sim, sort of. Mm-hmm. It's semi-harem in the sense that there are multiple female protagonists, but it's not a typical harem in which all of them fall in love with the same character at the same time. Each girl actually gets her own arc. All the story arcs are in parallel with each other. So he's not a cheating bastard dating more than one girl at a time. And then it's cute. The anime is cute because you get to see the other characters come in and out of the story and how his relationship with them would have been if he had not pursued her as a romantic interest. My favorite arc is the last arc, and this is gonna be spoiler filled for this particular arc. But I think even after watching it, after listening to me talk about it, you guys should still watch it. So it follows Tsukasa Ayatsuji, who is the class representative, and she's the perfect student, loved by everybody. And then she was walking around, and she had a diary. And then main character Ayatsuji drops the diary, the little black book, and then main character picks it up and then hands it back to the girl. And then the girl takes it, but she does not know and does not trust the guy whether or not he read the book. So suddenly, the perfect image shatters. And that it turns out that she's actually a very, very scary, manipulative person. And basically blackmails him into not telling what he read in the book. Even though he keeps on saying that, I didn't read anything from the book, stop being so mean to me.
People are the worst, seriously.
So basically, one giant swindler. But, he follows her. He's somewhat blackmailed into doing stuff for her, but then he starts doing it out of, the kindness of his heart, etc. And then it comes to brings him to the temple for the confession scene in the sense that she takes the black book that she's so scared that other people will read, and then she burns it in front of him.
Tense.
Showing that it doesn't matter whether or not this stuff is true or whether you read it. I'm okay with letting it go as long as you're willing to accept me for who I am.
You like this acceptance thing a lot, I noticed.
And
only for the first two. The
Traps
other two are
and acceptance. Trap
sentence.
You have to accept the traps in your life.
Yes.
So-
Oh my god, this ties in with you being caught in your own
Trap.
Oh.
So there, she learned that her hidden, less perfect side is okay to show. It's okay. It's okay to be not perfect, and not to be goody with everyone. But it comes later in the arc. It comes into a conflict with the school, where the main character tells her that maybe it's not such a good idea to be so abrasive. And then it's suddenly like a holy shit. I'm like this because of you, and now you're telling me not to be like this, to be the not perfect person that she is. So suddenly, boom, it's like a heroic BSOD where the next time that she sees him, she reverts back to the perfect self, and she doesn't. It comes to the point where she does not acknowledge the existence of the abrasive self, the hidden self. She doesn't, like, who is this person? I have left this person already, and it becomes sort of a bother. It's like, she's perfect. I mean, she's okay, but then it's like a false perfect kind of thing.
Wow.
that's deep.
So like when it came back to the Christmas season, which is like the actual Valentines for Japan.
Yeah.
That's the romantic thing that equals to or maybe even greater than Valentine's in Japan.
Yeah.
When
lots of people eat KFC.
when the main character reaffirms his love for the girl, she's happy. She's happy because, but then he says that I like all of you, not just this perfect facade, but also the damaged part. The not perfect part inside of you, and then she becomes confused. She becomes angry. She judo throws him onto the floor.
Same.
The answer to all
So it's
personal
like,
confrontation. Yes.
so it's like she's like,
True.
why? I did this for you. I removed myself, part of myself for you, and then she's like, there's a misunderstanding, and it's like, I'm okay with all of this, of all of you, and it's like, oh, tears. So I might not have been able to communicate it in the most romantic way, but I think
Okay.
you guys should check it out. Give it a watch. It's the last arc. You don't have to watch it. It's only 4 episodes. You don't have to read. You don't have to watch any of the other episodes to be able to get it.
Appreciate.
But it's a nice series ending storyline because you see her in the other story arcs as this perfect person who's always helpful and always there and always supportive. But then you get that's why it's a big holy shit, what the fuck, she's like this at the end. So there's that. I'm sorry, I took so much time already.
It's okay. Go.
Because love takes
That's
Love takes.
love takes time.
Oh, shit. Alright.
Moving on to the comics medium.
Yes.
One of the sweetest things that I ever saw was from All-Star Superman. And it was Superman's gift to Lois Lane on her birthday. And it's not like that, see.
No, it's not.
It's
I guess
not-
you
not
read,
like
you read the
Canada.
comic, right?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
not. That's why I'm not making that gesture.
The Canada pounding or
That's
that's like
Canada pounding.
if Daniel Bryan could redo his career, he should reconsider naming one of his moves Canada,
Canada
pounding.
So, and on Lois Lane's birthday, Superman decided to give him something that is super special.
There is no way you can summarize this
on their
without
birthday,
it sounding
sounding dirty.
Yep.
Is he super naked?
No.
No.
He's super strong. And
Super naked.
Naked.
Action league now.
Anyway.
Superman gives Lois Lane his powers for a day. He through super science because comic books, and also because in this point of the story, Superman was
Dying.
overcharged by the sun's energy,
And he's dying.
because his body is processing too much energy because Lex Luthor got him too near the sun, basically. So he's dying. But at the cost of his dying, all his powers went off the roof, including his intelligence. So he's able to figure out a way to distill all his powers into a pill that can give
Wow.
anyone superpowers for a day. And he gives it to Lois Lane for her birthday. So Lois Lane can feel what it's like to be Superman for a day. And they do all sorts of romantic things,
Super sex.
I just said super boinking.
super grinding.
Super
But it's like, so she gets to fly for the first time. She gets to see the world the way that he sees it, including all the hearing, the super hearing. So the hearing the dolphins and he can smell the making of the food in the bakery like halfway across town. That kind of stuff. They also fight. They also end up fighting two other super strong individuals, Samson and Atlas, where they both try to win Lois Lane's heart against Superman.
okay.
Meaning, like, trying to impress her because now that she's a superwoman and that superwomen need supermen, and that
But
they both think that they can out Superman.
That was just the worst
The
thing
worst
possible.
idea possible.
They chose the wrong timing.
That's like that's the true plot of Batman versus
Versus
Superman.
Lois Lane.
Lois.
And then they even ran across an ancient time traveling Sphinx god.
Okay.
Alright.
So it's
Okay.
like they were able to match wits with the Sphinx god, and it ended up with one of the most beautiful panels in comic bookdom ever, where they both fly to the moon and they both share a romantic kiss with the Earth behind them.
Oh.
Instead of the moon, it's the earth.
It's the Earth behind them, and they're on the moon, and the whole she has her leg up.
Oh. Yeah. The pop.
The pop.
The pop.
It's like, ugh.
Princess Diaries pop.
Yes,
Man,
I know.
I've never been a giant Lois Lane Clark Kent fan because they're goody two shoes. They're very vanilla and everything.
You're vanilla.
I know I'm vanilla. Okay, maybe that's why I don't like vanilla.
Yeah, that's why he likes traps.
And acceptance.
and acceptance.
Trapceptance.
So it's a very beautiful scene. So there's that. Lastly, very quickly,
In space, nobody can hear them boink.
Quote of the year. Someone edit that word doc.
the last one, because I've taken too much of this particular segment. The end scene of the Hercules animated movie.
Aww.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
Animated?
Yeah.
Okay, I
The
thought I said
Disney one?
animated. Yes. The ending scene.
Animated.
They won.
Animated.
Hercules has won.
He's
He
immortal.
beat the enemies. He is now immortal. He can now return home to where he belongs
Among the gods.
among the gods. Then as he ascends the stairs, Mount Olympus, he stops and he looks back and looks at Megara, who's waving goodbye or something. And
Yes.
then he realizes that, oh shit, I don't remember the exact line though, but more or less he says,
Oh wait, I remember. A life without Meg, even an immortal life, would be empty.
Canada!
Let's get That's gonna be a good calendar after that.
And then these.
So like he sacrificed immortality for love, and I think that's the best way for me to end my segment of
Love.
love.
I was going to say that in the actual mythology.
Yes, I was gonna say
Oh!
History 5!
Actually, not history.
Mythology.
5.
The newest boy band.
In that's where Tentacles achieve stardom.
Tentacles and testicles. It's just the two of them.
But Mythology 5's the name.
Oh, because Tentacles is 3 tentacles.
Oh, I see where you went there.
I see where you went there.
But in the actual mythology, Hercules kills Megara,
yeah,
which is not as
as romantic.
Disney.
So
Just like the opposite of romance.
Well,
But
they also got his name wrong. He's Heracles.
yeah.
but that's Greek. Hercules is Roman.
Exactly, but it takes place in Greece.
Okay, enough quibbling. Sasha,
Nerd raging.
enough. Nerds. Sasha, it's your turn to talk more about Bioware.
What?
Just
Just the one scene. I have 3 and only one of them is from Dragon Age. I'll talk about that one first.
Your answers are the same as your
Yeah.
answers from the previous
Yeah,
one.
but this one
No,
is the scene.
The
I know.
scene. So, ayaw mo yun, may connect. Continuity.
Okay, go.
Although the first one isn't very continuous because it's a different pairing.
Yeah.
Continuity.
Okay, so my first scene is
That's how
the
you-
pre-final
that's how you
battle
ensure
scene
continuity.
between
Unless you
Colin and the
Unless-
Inquisitor.
You're a single cell organ.
Because, okay, the Inquisitor is about to go after the big bad, and Colin has to stay behind with the army to fight off the demons. And this is basically your last time seeing each other. And you don't know if you're gonna win. Well, obviously you will, but whatever. He doesn't know that.
Yeah, it's player knowledge.
It's player
Player
knowledge,
knowledge,
not character knowledge. And so,
Nerds.
this scene takes place in this makeshift chantry in Skyhold.
It's basically an empty room
With a statue
of Andraste and some candles.
Yeah.
The Heralds of Andraste.
So he's praying to the Maker, and then he says, and then you walk in and interrupt his peace
Your sexiness.
with your sexiness, and he's like, "I have to send you to him." Him being Corypheus, the big bad, and then you're like, "If I don't make it," and then you don't even get to finish because he's like, "Maker, no!" And Greg Ellis's voice acting in this scene is just on point. Like, Trixie was a witness to this. When I finally got this scene, I was sobbing. Literally sobbing.
It is one of the best pieces of voice acting I've ever heard. Like in all my years of playing video games, one of the best conversations ever.
It's just so emotional. Tugs all the right heartstrings.
Because it's not a very bombastic vocal performance.
Yeah.
It's very restrained.
Yes.
But in the restraint, you hear like so many layers, like so many feelings. If you feel
Like,
Colin's,
He's almost going to
fear-
fall apart.
Yeah, you feel his fear, his apprehension, how worried he is about you, how much you feel the love in his voice. So many textures. We're going to listen to this after the podcast, so you know how awesome.
We do
Greg
many
is.
listening.
We do many listenings.
We're very interactive.
We're very interactive.
Okay, that is the last that I will talk about this. Because if I
No,
don't...
it won't.
No, as in right now.
We have a
right
third
now.
segment.
Make her know. This will be the last time I'll talk about right now. I'll talk about later, much later, once this is over. Okay. My next scene is actually almost not exactly a scene because it happens so fast, almost you might not even recognize it because it's so subtle. But then again, this is set in the Regency. This is from Pride and Prejudice,
Subtlety is key.
where you don't really get to do a lot of booty touching.
Yeah,
You
it's all
don't
about
get-
the fan.
It's all about the fan.
and the eye contact.
It's all about the smiles, that
The
whatever.
smizing.
Okay, so this one is from the 1995 miniseries of Pride and Prejudice, starring Jennifer
Holy
L.
shit.
as
That's
Lizzie
so-
Bennet and Colin Firth as Mr. Darcy.
You said Colin Firth.
I said Colin Firth.
You said Colin.
Whatever. Oh my god, that would be so amazing. Anyway.
Things.
Anyway, before this gets, carried away.
Too steamy for
Too
Sasha.
steamy for Sasha.
Anyway, there's this one scene.
Don't forget to fan your
Fan.
badge.
I will not tell the entire story of Pride and Prejudice because...
You can spoil it because...
Yeah, it's like
I'm pretty sure
100
people
years
reading
old.
This one is not gonna.
Basically, Mr. Darcy and Lizzie Bennet, they don't like each other a lot at the very beginning because he is a prick and she is very proud. Eventually,
He
they...
has prejudices and she's proud.
Proud.
Yeah.
See what we did
Eventually, they
there.
sort of fix their shit. Like, he explains why he's being a prick, and then she's like, oh, maybe I am being a bit
He
proud.
lessens his prejudice and she lessens her pride.
Yes. Okay.
Summary.
At one point,
Footnotes by
Lizzie...
Talabong.
At one point,
You're gonna pass.
Lizzie is in Derbyshire where Mr. Darcy lives. What the fuck was that?
What do you do?
He made mistakes.
Okay.
Okay, where was I?
Stay safe.
Lizzie Bennet is in Derbyshire, where Mr. Darcy lives, and he invites her over to his house, which is Pemberley. And there's this one scene where they're in the drawing room with Mr. Darcy, Lizzie Bennet, Charles Bingley, which is Mr. Darcy's best friend, Mr. Darcy's sister, and Mr. Bingley's sisters, who are bitches, by the way.
Bitch.
Massive bitches. Okay. And one of the sisters, Caroline, says this thing that just upsets the shit out of Georgiana Darcy, which is
Mr. Darcy's
sister. And, you can't exactly burst out
Yeah,
during
keep
that
it
time.
on
Yeah,
side.
keep it on side. But you can see that Georgiana is like visibly distressed. And because she is distressed,
Visibly
Darcy is also very
Distressed.
Visibly
distressed.
distressed.
Like, he almost gets up to rush over to her. But Lizzie, savvy woman that she is, diffuses the situation. She goes over to Georgiana, who's at the pianoforte playing. And then she says, oh my gosh, I've been so rude. I left you alone. Who was going to turn your pages for you? And then...
Regency.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
And then she gives Mr. Darcy this small smile that just says so much. Jennifer L. has a beautiful smile. Like, at first I didn't like her as Elizabeth, but then I saw her smile and it just lights up her entire face. It's that kind of smile. So when she gives Mr. Darcy that small smile, that says a lot. Like, I got this. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry at all. And then Mr. Darcy smiles back, and it's like one of the 5 times Colin Firth smiles in this TV series.
Oh, I thought Sasha came. Oh, watching.
That too.
And then a zombie kills them all.
That's true. Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, it's that one scene, and I think it's at least in this TV series, that is the point when they fall in love.
Okay.
I think, if you ask me, that's the point when they fell in love. Okay. So the next one is Claire and Jamie's wedding night. Oh, sexy! Wait, I love Outlander a lot.
Yep.
Can't wait for the new season.
It's seriously like Game of Thrones for women.
Game of Thrones for women set in Scotland with amazing Scottish accents.
Also, kind of more or less historically accurate.
Okay.
By Game of Thrones for women, you mean
There's sex and fighting.
and death?
And
And death,
fantasy,
yes.
kind of fantasy elements.
Okay, so
Outlander, wasn't this the same one from earlier?
yes, it is the same one
Based
from
on the
earlier.
book by
Scottish time
Diana-
traveling.
Is it Diana Gabaldon?
Yeah, Diana Gabaldon. Okay, so the scene that I chose is Claire and Jamie's wedding night part 2. Why part 2? Because, okay, when Claire and Jamie get married, Jamie is actually a virgin. So,
Hottest virgin ever.
hottest virgin ever. Have y'all
virgin?
seen him?
Scottish
Have y'all
virgin
seen
ever.
him? I'ma show you later.
I'm gonna show you his butt.
I'm gonna show you his butt. Okay. So he's a virgin, so he doesn't
Emotionally
really know
prepared
how
yourself.
to do stuff. So he doesn't really know how to do stuff on their first night.
Make the cylinder.
Take the cylinder.
I mean, he has an idea, but he doesn't know how to do it well. So he doesn't last very long.
Like Antonio Banderas in Zorro. Point the end, goes to the other person.
And then,
So their first time is far from magical.
as it is for many a virgin.
Yeah. So after that, after after all this, they decide to just spend the rest of the night talking, getting to know each other. And then, like, much later into the night, maybe around midnight, they both had a lot of whiskey, and they're all feeling very mellow.
Yeah.
And then...
Oh, I
And
watched
then-
this scene.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, and then Claire is like...
Reliving in my head.
I know...
My mind palace.
I know the words to the scene because I've seen it so many
Okay,
times.
how about you relay them to our
Okay.
listeners?
She tells him to undress because she wants to see all of him.
Uh-huh.
And then she also does the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jamie's like, whoa, what the fuck? And then she's like, what's wrong? Have you never seen a naked woman before? And then he says, because he's Scottish.
Mm-hmm.
He says, but not one so close, and not one that's mine. And then... Canada! It was so good! So good! Massive splooshing everywhere. Okay, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow, it's so hard to top Sasha.
Oh wow! Did that come out right?
Massive splooshing everywhere.
Massive splooshing
But then I-
everywhere.
That's the next
Yeah,
segment,
from
though.
Prim and Proper, Pride and Prejudice to Canada! Scotland!
They do things differently in Scotland.
It is very cold. Wait, but it's also cold in Canada.
Things. Sorry, I had to.
Okay.
Goodbye Canadian. Goodbye Scottish
Yes?
sponsorships.
No, we were nice to Scotland. Scotland, we love you.
I
love
love
you too,
Scotland.
Canada.
I love y'all. Keep your accents. Don't lose them.
Yes. Do not conform. Oh my god. That what a controversial statement!
What is it?
Break away from the British.
That's what they would say. I'm just letting out what they feel.
You're just courting controversy left and right, Reveal.
What a time to be alive.
Not all of them feel that way, as
Obvious
evidenced by
by
the
the election.
referendum.
Referendum.
Politics. Europe, the
Politics.
economy.
Okay, so
Let's
Sash,
get
I
it
am
back on
finished.
point.
I'm done.
okay, you're done.
For
Believe
this segment.
me.
You're done. We'll leave you here in the chantry
In
alone.
a pool of your own.
I need to pray a lot.
Wash away the sins.
Sebastian said that.
So you need the Maker's mercy and other things from the Maker.
Make her know.
Maker, no.
Maybe
Oh my god,
codes.
some nasty Maker Andraste things just flashed across my... We're forgetting that now.
Now go down.
Okay, so my choice for my favorite romantic scene is actually one of the most heartbreaking scenes I've ever seen.
And it's the one that converted you.
It's the one that converted me. Because prior to actually playing Mass Effect, I watched all the romance scenes to decide early on who I would romance. I wanted to make an educated decision as I romanced people throughout the series because I intended to play all the games one after the other. And at first, when T was selling Mass Effect to me, I was like, oh, I read aliens, ew!
Like total ill.
Tell L. Sorry. But initially, I was apprehensive about having sex with aliens. And initially, my choice for romantic companion was Kaden Alenko. And I was asking, I remember I asked T, is Kaden the Cullen or the Alistair of Mass Effect? And T is like, no. But I think that you would like Thane Krios. So I YouTube Thane Krios romance and you see this green frog thing.
Frog.
This green frog with large
Shiny eyes.
dead shiny pools. Black pools for eyes. And then I messaged T, what the fuck? He's an alien.
So I fetched this YouTube link showing that scene in Mass Effect, and bam!
My
My vag believed.
Wait, the death scene?
Yeah,
Okay, so what?
I found.
Okay, so my favorite romantic scene is Thane Krios' death scene in Mass Effect 3. So Thane is a Drell assassin who you meet in the second game. And yes, I played through the first game just so I could romance Thane in the second game. Hashtag dedication. And when you meet him in the second game, when you recruit him, and after you get to talk to him a bit more and learn about him, you find out that he has this fatal disease called Keppel syndrome. And it's this disease that affects all Drell who live outside their home planet. They cannot breathe properly. Is that right?
Their blood doesn't carry as much
Oxygen. Because their bodies are perfectly attuned to their home planet, and if they live elsewhere, it just gets fucked up. And he is dying, and he has 2 years to live by the time you recruit him in the second game. By the third game, he can no longer be in your party because he's sick, and he's living in Huerta Memorial Hospital. Damn. He's living in Huerta Memorial Hospital, and that's where you first meet him in the third game. And even though he can no longer be in your party, he's still a vital
Badass.
he's still badass, and he's still important in the game, so much so that he helps you kill or detain. He helps you, and he doesn't
Detain.
Detain,
Detain's,
yeah.
si
what's his
evil
name?
ninja guy.
Who is played by Troy Baker, right?
Yeah, wait.
Evil Troy
I don't
Baker.
remember his character.
He's the ninja.
Yeah, him. What's his name?
I remember this. I've watched this so many times, but I forget. Anyway,
Anyway,
evil ninja Troy
will-
Baker.
we will-
He detains evil ninja Troy Baker, and in doing so, and in the process of
Kylan.
Kai
There you
Leng,
go.
in the process of detaining Kai Leng, he gets evil ninja Troy Baker. He gets shot, which only serves to accelerate what the Keppel syndrome is doing to his body. So he's very literally bleeding out and dying as you have to fulfill your main quest. And when you check up on him again, the doctor says you have to go in because he says I would say goodbye if I were you. And then when you go to his deathbed, you see his son, Koliat, also hot, who at his side. And Koliat is someone who you could have saved. You can save him, you cannot save him in the second game. He was vital, he was the central part of Thane's loyalty quest in the second game. So if you did the Paragon thing and you stopped him before he assassinated the big guy, his mark, he carries over into the third game. He's a good guy here, and he has done a 180 with his life. He's decided to change because he's fixing his relationship with his dad, and he wants to do the Paragon thing.
Yeah, because that's what Commander Shepard does. Fixes things.
Fixes the shit
Things.
of the universe. Oh my, of course, because it's a Bioware game. And as he's dying, he asks, I loaded it up. He asks Kolia to pray for him because he's finding it difficult to talk. He can't breathe properly anymore. And so Koliat picks up the prayer that Thane started. And the part that really got me is the one towards that. I mean, the whole prayer is very beautiful. Very beautiful. And the scene is you're in a hospital room. You see this Kermit the Frog creature dying in this hospital bed. It's just his son next to him, and it's just you. There's no one else because you're his only family. So should I say the whole prayer?
Yeah, go. It's very
short,
nice.
Kalahira, mistress of inscrutable depths, I ask forgiveness. Kalahira, whose waves bear down stone and sand. Kalahira, wash the sins from this one and set him or her on the distant shore of the infinite spirit. Kalahira, this one's heart is pure, but beset by wickedness and contention. Guide this one to where the traveler never tires, the lover never leaves, the hungry never starve. Guide this one, Kalahira, and he or she will be a companion to you as he or she was to me. And then after that, I think Thane says, was Thane dead by this point?
No.
No, not yet.
He says he will see you on the shore. Across the sea. He will see you across the sea. That's where, in Drell spiritual belief, that's where people, that's their heaven.
That's their afterlife.
That's their afterlife. And then he dies. And then Femshep, because I always play Femshep. Femshep says, I'll see you on the other, wait.
Femshep asks.
I'll meet you
Goliath.
across.
Goliath, why does the prayer say
Okay.
she?
Shepard's confused because the prayer doesn't seem to go together. Like, isn't it supposed to be a prayer for Thane? So, Femshep or Male-Shep asks Goliath, Goliath, why does the last verse say he or she? And then Goliath says,
Well, he
The-
didn't take proper English.
the prayer was not for him, Commander. He has already asked forgiveness for the lives he has taken. His wish was for you.
So I didn't play this game. I saw you watch that video, and I was like, ooh!
So up until his last breath, Thane is thinking of you. And then Femshep says, goodbye, Thane. Meet you across the sea.
I don't want to love anymore. But like
This pairing was actually this really touched me, and even though I knew Thane was going to die, I wanted to see the romance through because you affect Thane's life so much in so many ways just by being his friend or his partner. Because when you meet him in 2, he has no purpose. He's just waiting to die. He's just fulfilling his last few kills before the Keprel syndrome takes him. And then he meets you. You do his loyalty mission. And suddenly he has a whole new outlook on life. Like he has, especially if you romance him, he suddenly has a purpose. And if you save Goliath, he says he has 2 purposes to live. You and Goliath.
It's Shigatsu in space.
Putang ina.
alright.
And then after his death, in the Citadel DLC, there's an entire funeral scene for Thane.
Really?
Yeah.
God damn it, I want to play.
Really? There's an entire funeral scene for Thane. And then after the funeral, Goliath approaches you and says that he found some old vids, like video emails that his dad made for you while you were in prison, right?
Yeah.
While you were in prison that never reached you because obviously you were in prison. And when you hear them, when you watch them, you see all the emotion in his big, shiny, dead pools of eyes. He says, I tried calling you. I assumed different names. I wrote like real letters to you. I've sent emails. I've sent voicemails. I've tried to reach you. I love you. And he's always mentioning, I'll wait for you across the sea. This destroyed me, okay? This destroyed my heart. This destroyed my vag, okay? I can never love again after Bioware games.
Damn it, Bioware.
Damn it, Bioware!
For everybody.
That
Unrealistic expectations.
for love. I know, more than Disney, right? Bioware.
Yeah, who needs Disney?
Bioware will fuck you up. Goodbye, Bioware money.
It'll fuck you up in the most beautiful way
In the most beautiful way possible. And you'll
Thank
mature.
you, Bioware money.
You'll mature and grow up and learn a lot about life and friendship and romance and betrayal. And betrayal. So that's me, Thane Creo's ultimate sugar,
Badge destroyer.
ultimate badge destroyer.
Destroyer of
Imagine if that was your like, if you were interviewed on a documentary, you were like Thane Creos, and then your description is ultimate badge destroyer.
Who's the frog in space?
Yes. Sexy Kermit the Frog in space. It's not Miss Piggy anymore. It's someone. The other one. The lesser
swine.
The lesser pig.
Some lesser swine.
Lesser. That's a band name right there. Lesser Swine.
Lesser swine.
Featuring Mythology 5.
We have so many intros. Anyway, that's me. RJ, would you like to talk about your favorite romantic scene in any medium?
With winky emoticon.
This is actually no, I'm not using that one
crying
because I
emoji.
then realized that we could talk about literature and like
Ooh.
this is like
Books exist.
books exist.
Books exist.
And like this is like these are the two closest series to my heart. And I realized like while I was thinking about it, it's kind of the same structure. Their characters had the same structure. So I'm gonna talk about the first one which was the Bartimaeus trilogy. So in the Bartimaeus trilogy, by Jonathan Stroud.
Okay.
It's this book about magic politics. So
Okay.
it's a world where like they're magicians and they control all the politics because they literally have all the power.
Okay.
And then there's like an internal system to like
This is like Circle
Fix.
Magi. The book. The trilogy.
it's a young adult novel. So it's weird. Like it's about politics, but it's for kids. It's like
That sounds interesting.
so
Is
like
it like Harry Potter but darker?
way darker. Like I mean
Oh.
no.
YA?
It's YA. It's like it's
pick that
like
up, wow.
no. It's nice because like it's a trilogy, but the progression is much longer. Like the first book, Nathaniel is 8 to 12.
Wow.
The second book, he's 14 to 17, I think, and then third book, he's all the way up to 22, I think.
Wow.
So
So
at least they're allowed to have they're allowed to have sex that we're comfortable with.
no, okay, so like what I love about this so
He's reliving some experience.
okay,
We won't discuss
all
it.
right, that is a way too in joke.
You shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Oh. Anyway, so the first book is like, so it's the characters, the really important characters are Nathaniel, Bartimaeus, and Kitty. So wait, so Nathaniel is the main character.
He's probably a bitch.
He's the small child, and like you hate him.
Oh, I see.
Like, okay, seriously, in the first book, he's a child. He's 8.
He's a brat.
Yeah, because like.
Jailbait.
No, not at all. No, like
He's
no, like he's
Stop
so
confusing
he's
RJ.
so annoying because like no, he's a child and like he's also like super ambitious.
Oh, he's like, I don't know, what's his face? The Artemis Fowl kind of deal?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
And
there you
like
go.
Yeah, I hate art.
he's
I've never read Artemis
Yeah.
Fowl.
he's like super ambitious and stuff, but he in the background, like, so yeah, it's a political landscape ruled by magicians, but
This is Tevinter Imperium.
the commoners don't realize, like the non-magicians don't realize that like the only reason the magicians have power is because they summon demons.
This is so the Tevinter Imperium.
This is a lot of books.
Do they have slaves?
Yeah, dude, I'm serious.
What do you mean they have? I was like, slaves. And
That sounded like a biting of a lip of something.
yes, exactly.
You would totally be a magister.
Do they have slaves?
So like, oh god, I would like to
Here's some
procure
weird
of some
shit,
slaves.
Sounds I'm not a magus.
What? You want to be a magus?
No, I don't want to be a magus. I want to be a magister.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I own the prize. I own the prize.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay,
anyway, so you have to summon demons to do like bigger magic.
They summon demons to do bigger magic tricks.
And but so like
Down!
so like instead of they usually as a child you summon like weaker demons, but what Nathaniel summoned was Bartimaeus, which is a third level demon. Which is like third from the top kind of levels.
From this tap.
And so it was like absurdly strong for him. So Bartimaeus is special. I mean, Bartimaeus is special because like he's an asshole.
Oh wow! I guess I'm
So
special.
the story,
So
no,
Mark
like
Zuckerberg
as in like
is
It's special.
no, I mean like he's a different character because like he's such an asshole to this child. So the first, so you can imagine like how weird it feels to read the first book is about this petulant child and this asshole.
I like that book summary. It
Petulant
makes me
child
want to
and the
read
asshole.
it. Yeah.
So that-
Petulant child and the asshole.
The first book,
Okay.
and then like in the so that was the relationship that was happening.
Okay.
And in the second book, it was like now he's just like a slave. Now he's just like a slave driver because he's a stronger magician now, so he can summon more demons. He just summons more and then just keeps him in tow. Like oh, you can do all of my like cheap easy work because
You can do the easy magic.
like you can do like you're like basically a minion
You
now.
can do
So like
domestic magic.
so like there's a so there's like a lot of like the relationship is really weird because like it's a lot about like who has the power kind of relationship.
Damn, this is deep for a
Yeah, exactly. Like
YA. Yeah.
and then
We should get it.
okay, also in the second book, that's when you meet Kitty. Oh, and then what's nice about this is that it's a changing perspectives.
Uh-huh.
So in the first book, it's every so often you'll see it from Nathaniel's point of view. Every so often it starts
Like Game
talking
of
in
Thrones.
Bartimaeus, and then in
Sorry, A Song of Ice and Fire.
in the starting from the second book,
It's the proper.
one of the sides becomes
Game of
Kitty.
Thrones, what TV series fans call it.
So
Oh!
Them fighting words.
Backslap.
okay, anyway, so
Sorry.
starting from the second book, Kitty becomes a character that like you can see from behind her eyes, and Kitty was this new breed of commoners who started popping up in society that were resistant to magic.
They're dwarves. Continue.
So Kitty and Nathaniel is a 14-year-old who has way too much power. So he sounds like he just sounds like a rich guy's kid.
Okay.
So entitled.
Yeah, he sounds super entitled. While Bartimaeus is just like troubled. Like, man, I just want you to like stop being an asshole. Because now, but he's still like funny in his own asshole kind of way.
Okay.
Okay.
So that now that's the relationship, and then
Okay.
like in the third book, suddenly like you realize all of their backgrounds. So
Okay.
You know, he's,
in the
there's a
third,
reason to his assholishness.
yeah, in the third book, they get older, and then it becomes a lot more about just like trying to find something, like trying to do what you can for politics. Like for your country.
You
No,
should read that.
because it's there is a strong like political thing going on in the story. And then you also find out that Bartimaeus is a dick because his old master was Ptolemy, like from
The Egyptian.
from
Like
the Egyptians.
Egyptian
Yeah, from the Egyptians. And like what happened back then was that the reason that Bartimaeus became a dick was because Ptolemy was supposed to die. And I mean when Ptolemy is supposed to die, he had Bartimaeus out. And the only ways for a spirit to really die is for them to get like destroyed in the real world.
Yeah.
So like as Ptolemy was like being guarded by Bartimaeus, Ptolemy suddenly said like, I free you of your bonds. And then Bartimaeus was like, no, don't. I want to be here to save you because like if I'm not here, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And then like, no, I free you of your bonds. And then like he just disappears because he goes back to where he was summoned from.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then yeah, that scene was in the third book. Like when he finally like defeats the evil bad, like there's this weird cut off where right after Nathaniel defeats the big guy, like suddenly the building starts collapsing, and then it suddenly like skips forward to where Kitty is suddenly now like holding an administrative position as part of the government now, because Nathaniel became part of started advocating for commoners. Like he was the one who
So it became not an asshole.
not an asshole. And like it was for an entire chapter we were just thinking like, okay, Kitty's alive and she's doing things for the government. That must mean that like they're together now, right? And so you're just for an entire chapter you're just like, so where's Nathaniel? Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
He survived, right? And then the chapter skips back to that scene where the Colosseum is falling apart and Bartimaeus is the only one like holding the shelter down. And then like when Nathaniel as Bartimaeus was like shielding him, was like, no kid, it's fine, like you can just let me handle this. I was like, no, it's okay, like you can go. I was like I know it's not romantic, but it's like
There's love.
yeah, there is
behind
some
it,
really
though.
strong love talaga.
Yeah.
Parang like this is like as soon as I finished that moment, like I had to go read again. Like as soon as I dropped the third book, I picked up the first book again, and it was like, small child, it's fine.
Little asshole, it is okay.
like a little asshole who is being coddled by bigger asshole, like it's fine. Because it's like
Sounds familiar.
but on the side of romance, like when Kitty and Nathaniel, like they are clashing, because like they meet when Nathaniel is a total asshole and Kitty is realizing like how broken society is and becoming a rebel. So they're like there's a lot of clashing, and it's like it's just nice for like that in the third book they do have romantic scenes that are just very sweet. So the next
Bless you.
the next set of books, which is not done yet, so go, is David Wong. Is by David
Our
Wong.
uncle?
No, his real name is Jason Pargin.
Oh, damn it.
He actually gives a reason for that, was that he uses David Wong as a pseudonym because it's the most common name.
David Wong. Is the
Yeah,
most
because
common
David is the most common first
name,
name and Wong is the
Wong's
most common last name.
We're common.
Common.
In America,
How do you
not
feel about
here.
that?
Not here. We are uncommon here.
I know several longs.
Yeah, but not as many tans or limbs
That's true.
or chuas.
Or scenes. Anyway.
Anyway, so in that book, it's David who is just a sincere, like he's trying to do good by himself, but like he's kind of an asshole. John, who is super irresponsible but wants to be sincere, and then his girlfriend Amy, David's girlfriend Amy, and so generally stuff happens, but the big thing was that there was a zombie apocalypse.
Would you like to see it? Sorry. This is me right now. Yes, it is. I just showed them a picture from Shit Academics Say of what you look like when your manuscript is submitted and what you look like after your manuscript is accepted. So when you submit your manuscript, you're a fresh-faced young person, and after it gets accepted, you are like me, old and balding, and in black and white.
Okay, anyways.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. So the story here is David and John like usually fuck up and destroy half the world.
Usually fuck up.
Yeah, like that's the premise of both of their books. It's that like, oh, there's this thing that seems like let's like go.
Seemed like a good idea.
Seems like a good idea, and then like
Surprise,
just
it's
fucks up
not.
and like destroys a part of the world.
I want that to be the title of the book.
No,
David
okay.
is coming, fuck up and destroy the world.
No, it pretty much is. So first book is named John Dies at the End.
Oh!
Oh, is that the one?
Did
Yeah.
they make it into a movie?
Yes.
Oh, that sounds
The movie does
familiar.
not make the book, but like the book is pretty weird too, so it's fine. And then the second one is this book is full of spiders. Seriously, dude, don't touch it. TBIFIOS. So this is actually more of in this book is full of spiders. So this is also a romance between. So these are older people, like they're 30s or they're in their 30s in the stories, and that's just kind of how it works. And it's the same thing where main character is kind of an asshole. His friend is
I'm noticing a pattern
a,
of you
a
as
more
well.
a more irresponsible asshole. And then David's girlfriend, who's just like very sincere about just trying to be, just
Not
like
an
he
asshole.
she just really likes David. And my two favorite scenes in this one is there was this one part like it's never even
assholes like spooks.
They're very simple.
Wait, what do I
people.
like? What did he
no
say?
likes
Like
traps,
straps,
likes
likes
assholes,
assholes,
like
like
boobs.
Oh, okay.
Likes cats. Yeah.
Likes cats.
Likes cats.
Likes puppies and
Okay.
boobs
And Templars.
and
Yeah.
Templars.
Furries.
Furry, you damn furries.
Anyways, so and he's it's actually like my most romantic scenes are when they talk about the people they love, because they try to be sincere, but you know they're assholes. They can't like be real
They can
in
be
front of each
sincere
other.
assholes.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's what they're trying to go with. So with there's this scene where Amy, the girl, is talking about David, and she's in a truck full of zombie hunters,
Okay.
which are people who have been like waiting for the zombie apocalypse. Like, oh my god, it's finally here. Now we can play with all our guns. And
America.
Amy was saying like
Ego sounds.
I realize now why I feel I this isn't verbatim, but like Amy says I realize now why I feel so safe, why I feel safer with David with a crossbow, behind David with a crossbow versus some 4 guys with
Guns.
fully armed machine guns. And because when one day a pizza man was stalking us, and he would constantly drive up to our house, climb our window, and scream profanities inside.
The fuck kind of pizza guy?
And
Hindi pa siya napa-fire?
and
Complete
Dave-
nga
and
yun.
Dave-
Better
David
be good pizza.
came out and threatened the guy
With a crossbow.
with a crossbow. And he said, I will shoot you and I will not miss.
Nice.
And then on the 4th time he did that, he was outside the window again. David came out of the door, took his crossbow and shot him in the leg. But this time he actually had pizza. So like the other times he wasn't delivering anything, but that fourth time he actually was carrying pizza. So it looked like he just shot a pizza delivery guy. And then when Amy asked him like, what if like would you have done that? You could have gotten so much worse if he died. Like, would you have done that either way? It's like, yeah, of course I would. Like, that's stupid. And with the guys, it always seemed like they were just in it for the guy. It's like there was real sincerity there. Na parang my boyfriend is the kind of person who would threaten a guy with a crossbow. But I feel like
I guess that's a good
I
thing.
feel safer with that. Like there is sincerity in that. But the one I felt the most was with John. So now to like go further back and explain a part of this, like the weird premise of this story. So part of the premise is that they have this drug called soy sauce,
What?
and soy sauce gives them magical powers.
That's a hell of a drug.
That is a hell of a
Our
drug.
sauce could do
Is
that.
it gold label soy sauce?
Oh, that is good. They do
That
not
is-
sell it here. I had to bring a bottle back from Japan.
That
Nice.
shit's good.
But this is some really like
is
this is drugs. Like it
It's
actually
real
actually
drugs.
it's not really. It's not actually drugs.
Substance?
It's a substance that moves
Okay.
and tries to stab you. Like it moves and like it trying to like jump into your mouth and shit. So anyway,
Why
so
did they call it soy sauce?
Xenomorph ata.
so
Dark man.
no, because it's dark.
Blob,
It's
man.
black, and like the guy who was selling it was calling it soy sauce.
I see.
Oh, okay.
So they have this thing called soy sauce, and then after they drank it, they realized that they had the power to see monsters.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
as in like they can and then but it also gave them special powers. Like when on the time of ingestion, it makes them like it does weird shit to them all the time. And specifically in this moment, David was trapped inside a concentration camp and John was outside. And John was trying to get in. Like
This sounds really fucked up, man.
he didn't know how to save David. Like he really just wanted to save David and he couldn't because he was the reason he's inside is because he fucked up. And then he took the soy sauce and time stopped. For some reason time stopped. But the problem was that John couldn't do anything. Like time stopped to such an extent that you couldn't move matter. Except everything that was on his body. And like so what he did was he walked into the concentration camp because no one could stop him. And like and then he didn't know at that moment whether David was killed. Like for like 3 chapters before that, he was already like in the throes of despair, like thinking, "Oh God, I got him killed." And now his girlfriend is calling me constantly, trying to ask like, "Hey, where's David? Like, is he with you?" Yeah, like, and he was thinking to himself, "God, he's dead. I don't know what's happening." And then he just heard rumors that like there might be a guy inside the concentration camp. So when he walks into the concentration camp and finds him, he's like that there was like he couldn't do anything because he like that he couldn't move anything. He couldn't carry him out or anything. But like he knew na parang, "Oh God, that's it. I found him. We're fine." And then after that, like I can't even tell him that I know he's here. Like it was such a like that was like you know like when 2 assholes are friends, they don't really no.
Asshole one and
When 2 assholes are friends
Trap and asshole and boobs.
are friends,
Asshole
they
boob
aren't
trap.
very sincere.
Damn.
Asshole boob trap.
That's like 3 of us.
It's a
in
crossover
one go.
hit for the 3 of you.
So when 2 assholes are friends, they aren't very sincere about it. Like they mean like they totally like they get it, but like they never say it out loud or anything. So that
Get you, you're an
moment when
asshole.
like after he thought David was dead, John thinks, oh God, he's here. And like even without explicitly saying, or like he couldn't really even explicitly say it because time was stopped between them.
Yeah.
Like you could feel all of the like relief going through him and parang, oh God, and through you because you didn't know he was alive either. That like, oh God, he's here. I didn't fuck up that bad, and like you're still here,
That's the least you can do in life. Not fuck up that bad.
and you're still That's basic. That is honestly like the entire story of John of that series. John dies at the end. This book is full of spoilers. It's you did not fuck up that bad.
That's good.
It's
That's always a good lesson to keep with you.
Anyway, so and then after that, like he thinks to himself, I wonder how to get out of like how do I tell him that like we're good, like we're safe. So since he realizes that like his body is the only thing that can move, so he started shitting there and then like just wrote. I love this book so much. So that was also the same feeling. And then
Same feeling and shit.
and also one of my favorite, like most favorite lines in the book was
Ay, Dios.
was this line at the very end when David and Amy were back together, were like sleeping in the same bed, and then David just suddenly said like, according to statistics, like whatever we experience as people, it's so infinitesimally small that we're like our emotions, our experiences are basically zero. Like we're so meaningless to this universe. And then Amy says,
That's really romantic.
"Aren't you glad that isn't true?"
Oh.
He's like, "Oh God!" After that, I closed the book and then opened it again because I started reading from the first page. Like, damn.
He was like, I can't. Now I can.
Can't again.
So good. Okay, there. That's so. Like
That's a really
no.
long.
What I really like. My thing is
So many emotions.
my thing is sincere assholes. Like no, because like
Update. My thing is sincere assholes.
because like people are so terrible.
Yes.
But like sometimes they're sincere and like that's fine. Like
Sincerely
even if,
terrible.
no matter how terrible you are, as long as you can own up to it and like work with it, it's fine.
Acceptance.
Acceptance.
Oh!
Regime.
Oh my god.
Crossover.
Crossovers. Alright.
Yay.
I think that's RJ then. And Yanni, please tell us about what scene in any fandom universe you consider the most romantic.
I heard traumatic.
Traumatic.
Traumatic, and romantic.
Let's
But
see.
like yours.
So let me state for the record that I agree with majority of what Sasha mentioned earlier. Everything about Mass Effect and Dragon Age. So I will just make it short. I had the good thing for Bioware is you actually get to play both genders. So for the plot, I was more curious as to how the stories would play out because I'm lazy to YouTube it that way. So
Which is weird because YouTube's usually the lazy
yeah.
thing.
Anyway, for Mass Effect, I preferred all the Miranda scenes with Shepard when I'm playing as a guy. And all the scenes with Jack as well is very touching. For playing the femshep, what I really liked was the scenes with Garrus. Okay, Garrus fans in the house. Yes.
Batman and
Your favorite line.
Batman.
The one you know.
Oh, nice outfit. Control panel, right.
Oh, I thought you were going to say dispenser of justice in
No.
an unjust galaxy. Also, I kill Reapers on the side. You?
No, I like control panel.
Sorry.
So that's okay. I like it because it's really like it doesn't have to be physical love, and although the one thing that really bothers me about the whole romance scene was the headbutt, but at the same time it's very sweet.
frustrating.
Yes.
That's all you get.
Headbutt,
of
all that
friendship.
effort. Yeah, but it's still love, But you go, oh man, because that was the first time that she reconnects with somebody with a similar background. Because Garrus wasn't. You don't get to interact with Garrus much in the first one.
You do as a seaside guy.
No, but I mean, emotional side is more on Kaden and Ashley.
Yeah, because they want you to feel attached to someone just to watch one of them die.
What? Yes.
Although I'm not playing Mass Effect because I can't get attached to either of them.
Get attached to
You
one.
have to.
That's a Bioware game for you, honey. Someone has
Blink,
to
blink.
die.
Yeah, but I
Yes.
don't have to be attached to them.
Then
You have to
there's-
choose,
attached
though.
to anyone.
Yeah, you can start getting your attachments in Mass Effect too.
Because everyone can die there.
Also,
Yeah.
romantic Garrus. That's true.
Yeah.
Everyone can die in Mass Effect too.
Yeah.
It takes effort.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
everyone can die.
Everyone can survive or everyone can
Actually,
die.
with the least amount of effort, everyone will die.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
If you speed play through the
if you
second.
speed
And
through,
don't do any loyalty
Yeah.
missions.
Yeah. Everybody dies.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that's a thing.
What?
How speed playthroughs are a thing.
You just go through everything. You don't do anything.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're a
It's
thing.
like a sense of accomplishment because I did it in
I
this
finished the
amount of time.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speedrunners.
But did you get anything from it?
That's not the
That's-
point.
that's not the
You
point of
finished it
speedrun.
in an
The
hour.
speed run is the
point.
point.
No, usually the
Congratulations, you
speedrunners
finished
are
right
like,
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone is dead.
Yes.
no, usually the speedrunners are the people who've already played it multiple times.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
That's why they know how to get through the game as quickly as possible.
Okay. Well, then that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
As
But
opposed
I
to
don't
like
think there are
blind
speedrunners
speed.
from the beginning.
You were saying, yeah.
Anyway.
And the other favorite
You
scene
really-
in Mass Effect's universe is the part that you walk in on Garrus and Tali.
Oh, that's my.
You actually get to
other
see.
OTP when they're trying.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's just so sweet. Interspecies and
Also, you must know Sasha because you don't.
Oh, am I
play-
spoiling so much?
No, she's not gonna play it now.
Oh, okay.
You should though.
Quarians. Tali's a Quarian. They're basically human, but they have to live in those special suits.
Immune system is
Because
She's the
compromised.
one who says, "Watch out, Chopper."
Right.
She got you tearing chocolate.
Yes.
Yes,
I know what
yes.
she is.
They are super incompatible with Turians.
Who are?
Tali's race. They're incompatible with Turians. They also fought each other, right?
Yes.
There was also a massive war between Quarians and Turians.
This is massive or just an encounter?
Like a race war?
Koreans needed to leave, so anyway.
There was
Maybe
something
cheeky
like that.
cheeky
So they
at each
hate
other.
each other. Their races hate each other.
Yeah.
But if you don't romance either of them, they romance each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it's like the Vince and the Kunari.
Yeah, it's like a forbidden romance.
Oh, that's so
The
cute.
Naruto one.
Which is also cute because
The Naruto and the
Tali's favorite soap opera is called Fleet and Flotilla, which is
Yeah.
about a Korean and a Turian.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
obscene.
That's so cute.
Fleet and Flotilla.
Yes.
She sings to you in that too.
See, that's why that's my favorite part of Mass Effect.
Garrus and his
Garrus.
parents.
Yes.
Emergency induction port.
Okay.
Gotta
I remember
calibrate those
that.
weapons.
Yes.
Calibrations.
Calibrations.
Calibrations. So that was everyone's favorite romantic scenes in any medium, comics, TV, movies, books, anime. And we will take a break for a couple minutes and get back to you with our last segment, which is our most heartbreaking or most disappointing romances. See you in a bit.
My family! He's got a gun!
Someone's breaking into your home. What do you do? Call 911? It takes the police an average of 35 minutes to respond to a 911 call. In that time, a burglar could have his way with your wife, smoke a cigarette, flip her over, and go in for seconds. Don't let the worst happen to you. It is vital that you protect yourself. Do it the patriotic way.
That's right. Ammunition has all the equipment you need to protect your family from the evils of a liberal society. Fixed, mounted, and shoulder-held submachine guns, mortars, surface-to-air and all manner of heat-seeking missiles, and just in to celebrate the Gulf War, pink and blue tracer bullets so you can protect your family in the dark. Start the week off right on Make My Day Mondays with 2-for-1 on Main.